So today we are taking the side exit off of Sally, putting on a brand new full exhaust from Varex X-Force, which is going to be absolutely insane. Stainless steel. We're going to have tailpipes coming out the rear again. No more side exit because it is just way too loud. It's making me go deaf. And if you guys recall, I did cut my diffuser a long time ago because we were running some header dumps. We also had the side exit. So there was no reason to have a diffuser on the back of the car. But now that we have a full exhaust again, I think we need to put this GT500 diffuser on from Extreme Online Store. So let's start with this and then we'll work on the exhaust. This is gonna look fantastic. AC is broken. It was just too much. I always had to ride around with the windows down. This thing was like right in my ear. Now I'm sitting right there, obviously. Side exit is right there. And yeah, I don't want to go deaf at 22. So we're gonna be putting that full exhaust on for that reason exactly. I think the side exit sounds great. It sounds really refined, especially after I added in those two mufflers, but it's just too loud for me. To remove the diffuser, you've got that one 7mm bolt right there. I know it's kind of difficult to see. Then you have another one that sits right here by the bumper, and then you have two pop clips that come out of here. So just use your pry tool and it'll come out super easily. There is one more 7mm bolt. It's in between the initial two that I showed earlier on, but once you get that done, you have these. I'm sorry, it's terribly backlit right now, but basically you have these push tabs, right? And the lock is on the back side of them, so you'll see it later on. All you do is push on it and then it'll all come out. Just be careful with this because you can snap it. Actually, when you get one of those push tabs popped, all of them come out. So now we've got it. We're just gonna slowly go all the way around. Should be the last one holding it in. There you go. So that's what my cut diffuser looks like. You need to take the clips from the old diffuser of where you took those bolts out because those are your threads for your bolts. So I just used a pry tool and we're transfer them over to the other holes. It's hot out here in Florida, but now it should be as simple as popping in the rest of the diffuser clips because I didn't break any of the body clips. It should all just line up. Let Sally down and then move her to the sunlight so you all can see the final result. I think it looks pretty sweet. Now with those massive stainless steel exhaust tips, that's gonna look so mean and nasty. I do need to get the middle light right here. There are some cool options that you can hook up like I had before. I gave them away like I explained. Then we're gonna need some white reflectors. So I'll probably go on eBay, pick up both of those for around 80 bucks and it should be good. And then we gotta get the exhaust on. So yeah, that gives you an idea though. This guy is gonna look super sweet right here. So let's get that wired up. Has a reverse light, running light, brake light, etc. So it's gonna look super sick. Now for the actual brake light portion of this light, you gotta run it through the trunk, go all the way up here, and then wire it to the taillights. So we're gonna see whichever one lights up when I hit the brake, and we will tap into that wire with this. I think I found the wire. Go ahead and step on it. There you go. So it hits that trigger whenever you step on the brakes. It is the, which color here? The white one. Just get that guy screwed in, which is the final screw to get this whole thing done. It looks pretty cool. I'll unlock it in just a second. I hit all those wires with zip ties, made it nice and clean, and that is awesome. Definitely a great addition and highly recommended. I think these things go for around 150 bucks. I think they're worth it. They're pretty cool. What the reverse light actually looks like once you have it all wired, it goes white whenever you put the car in reverse. Turn the accessory mode off, Mom, so hit the ignition. Now step on the brake. And that's what your brake light looks like. So it's F1 styled. Whenever you brake, it'll flash like that, which I think is pretty cool. It'd be cool to pick up the markers that sit right here and turn on. That would be pretty sweet.
A few moments later.
Just fit that tip for the mock-up because you guys will never see the top of the car or the full exhaust unless I like rent out a lift, and I'm not going to do that for an install. I'm going to do it on jack stands. So I pieced it all together so you all can get a general idea. Tips look really good. It is full stainless steel. I'm probably going to weld these for extra security, even though they have clamps that are included. You probably don't need to weld it, but I like the peace of mind. Yeah, that's the full exhaust and what it's going to look like. Sorry guys, I am sick. Got a raging fever. That looks pretty good. Kit also comes with a resonated X pipe if you want to run the resonated X pipe. I don't. I think resonator-less is gonna sound better, so that's what I'm gonna go with. See the inside of the muffler there and how the valves work. So usually it'll channel straight up to the muffler, right? But there is like that little side piece that goes off to the left. When you turn the valves on, it'll open and stop diverting the sound through the smaller chamber, and it'll come out through both of the tips and be a lot louder. I'm watching my videos for a while. I'm sure you all know what the side exit sounds like. I mean, I made it from scratch for an entire video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Finally got both of them disconnected, so I kind of regret doing this, but I welded the mufflers from the side exit to the connection pipes to the headers, and my new X pipe connects right there. So if that's welded, we need to find a way how to break this off. See what the X pipe sounds like. Just dumped. So I ran header dumps for a while, but never an X pipe with a header dump, and people say it sounds different, so I guess we'll find out what that sounds like. I'm connecting this with a simple clamp. Convenient. It just started pouring, but I got that X pipe fastened up. I used a jack stand on the rear to support it because I'm the only person doing this, and it's really hard to record and do this at the same time. But now we can see what it sounds like. It should sound pretty freaking sick. Start her up with the X pipe only and give it some revs. See what it sounds like. Jeez. Sounds different than when it was just the header dumps, I'm not gonna lie. It's like a more refined tone. Let me let it warm up in a second. I'll give it some bumps. I know the camera's never gonna capture that sound. That was only 3,500 RPM, but that thing sounds insane.
The next day.
The Home Depot actually had a welder rental for 50 bucks. 24 hours you can use the welder. I would rather use a welder than use clamps. I just don't trust them long term. I mean, look what happened with Sully's exhaust. The clamps never really worked out. So let's do it. That is my best welds for today. They actually came out pretty good. On the top here, in other portions where there were bigger gaps, it was harder. You can see I MIG welded that without gas whatsoever, and it looks mad decent, so I'll take that. It's not gonna leak. We got full penetration. I can see the welds on the back side. Now the X pipe's ready to go on. One side is actually all done. Super nice. The tips look really, really good. I mean, just look at that. The other side, the pipes don't really want to fit too well, so I'm kind of guessing on the fitment and the welding, and I'm running out of time on my welder rental, so I hope I don't make a mistake, but I think I'm just going to send it, start welding it, and then we'll have to return the welder tonight.
2 weeks later.
I was missing this part because when I did that diffuser delete, I took it off. You could see it, and I could only find one from when I took it off, so I had to order this. Since the CDK got hacked, Ford sent me a message that it's going to take a while to process my order. Well, it took a month, a whole 4 weeks, but I'm glad I finally have it here so we can finish up this exhaust install. I got the muffler there, we'll lift it up, bolt everything up, and it's ready to go. The exhaust is mounted all the way up. I am setting up the muffler things, basically to open and close the valves. So you're gonna go through the trunk just like I did, and you're gonna have plugs on each side that look exactly like this. Sorry for the lack of lighting, but you guys get the idea. It goes into the cigarette port. You can see part of the plug-in, and these will go to each of your mufflers. There are plugins for it. I highly recommend that you go ahead and do what I'm doing because you can conceal the wires through the trunk and hide it through all of the liner, and you will never ever see it. And feed this guy right now. There is a grommet you can remove in your Mustang GT, but that's where it goes. Right through the hole in the bottom, you can pull it through the other side. Now that we've got that pulled through all the way, it'll actually go to the muffler, right on the top, and it'll have a special plug-in. Exactly what it looks like. You plug it in on both sides and you are good to go. All those black and blue wires are going to go to the cabin, so I'm going to hide it underneath all of this. Time with it, you can really hide all the wires. I mean, all the way back, you cannot see a single one on my car. Glove compartment, nice and concealed, is where I'm going to keep the control box that actually receives the signal, which is that thing, to open and close the valves. Sally's battery is so cooked that I will not be able to show you guys a startup until it gets some charge. But pretty much just listen to this. I've got it all hooked up, obviously, as you all saw. That's open. That's a closed valve, and this is open. The blower is actually louder than the exhaust now. And this is closed. And the blower is louder than the exhaust now, but listen. This is closed, open. Toggle it here. Sally on because the battery is cooked from me letting it sit. I definitely have a parasitic draw, like I've explained in the past, but now I'm gonna do it with the valves closed. That was open. Let's see what it sounds like at 5,000-ish RPMs with the valves closed. If it'll even do it from this distance. Okay, yeah, it did, so that's great. Wow, that's impressive. Like, really tones it down. Those valves work. That's pretty much gonna do it for this video. We installed it, we set up the valves. I mean, that's awesome. It looks really good. I'm glad I went with this over the side exit exhaust. It's just so much more refined. I'm gonna be able to enjoy the car, especially when I close the valves. And the neighbors won't get super mad at me. You can also hear the blow off of the actual supercharger a lot more now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And stay tuned to see this thing back at the track. I'm taking it again, buying the axles.